Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. As well on the north side as the red Ottomans, we have Anotand? I probably butchered that, like I do with all names. Well on the south side as the blue English, we have CrackedyHere. Let's see now, English versus Ottomans. Ottomans, of course, for their economic benefits, they, rather than taking time to refine resources into military units, they just get them for free. They additionally have a vizier to get them extra mining speed, as well as a sheeple. The English are all based around farms. They get cheaper farms, collected faster by the mill, and also combos very well with their more man-at-arms focused composition. Speaking of which, let's talk about their feudal age units, or should I say dark age first. Of course, the English have access to the vanguard man-at-arms, which is not going to be deployed out this game. They can also get the feudal age early man-at-arms as well, one of the hardest units to deal with the entire game. The Ottomans do have a unit that can hit them somewhat good, the Sipahi. It'd be a bit more expensive, and can easily be countered by a handful of spearmen mixed in along with the man-at-arms. Still useful nonetheless. The English, of course, have access to longbowmen. A archer does have +2 range and +1 damage. Twin minaretes being deployed on the field, as well as the council hall. So likely we'll see a composition of Sipahi, archers, and I'm guessing the English has a lot of compositions. Longbow definitely, but probably a mix of spearmen, man-at-arms as well. Honestly, just going for full man-at-arms rather than, and no spearmen still work just as fine. Twin minaretes spawns out berry bushes there that collect 50% faster. It's enough to support 4 villagers for the food collection, so that is a solid base of food income that you don't have to worry about venturing out on the map to. The English council hall is archer range that works 100% faster, so it's basically 2 archer ranges for free, which is pretty good. That saves you 300 wood, and you get it instantaneously. We got now the walls going on up. Military school being built as well, so it's only gas free units. He's probably going to build a blacksmith here. We only have a couple villagers that are on stone, just purely meant for the military schools. Could do this as well. People prefer that one up for at least in the early game. First Sipahi now deployed on the field. We got 2 Sipahi on the field. Going for a barracks now, needs to get out some spearmen. Does have a longbow here, did not take time to bid on palings. That could have been an issue, that may be an issue there, not going for palings. Because the chance of him fighting Sipahi in feudal age is severely likely when fighting the Ottomans. Does use the fortitude ability, or had the fortitude ability activated there. Outposts now being built. And first vizier is now available. Longbow does get some arrows there. There are some palings there. Maybe they were already there beforehand. I don't remember seeing them though. Let's go for 2 free imams, which does give him 2 free heals here that are getting improved to have an AoE heal effect. You now have some archers being deployed down the field. 2 Sipahi, 3 Sipahi in this region. Does have a handful of spearmen. The longbowmen will, of course, hit punch harder than normal archers with their 6 hands rather than 5. The Spahi only have 2 Pierce Armor at the moment. Do have now Wheelbarrow being researched, and the Ottoman player will probably go for Blacksmith. Yes, has Blacksmith. Probably should add the Pierce Armor relatively soon as well. Going for the free Spahi, does have 1 free Spearman being pulled out as well. I'm a bit curious about what the production speed of Spahi right now. Oh, next up is the Meter. It's going to be built out in 1:45. Good damage there by the longbows.
Küdeyiz, geri kalın. Bilgi.
Scout in this region. Good number of Spahi in this region as well. And this map, I probably should mention this map as well. It is a custom map in which it is symmetrical, roughly. It's not really randomly generated, procedurally generated, but I think there is a slight amount of randomness to it. Not as much though. This map has 3 gold deposits in the center as well as 2 stone deposits. You have 2 sort of safe gold deposits, small ones, but then you're going to have to heavily be aggressive towards the center as well. So this map does favor defensive landmarks, which the English does have access to them, the White Tower and the Berkshire Palace. So we probably will see both, potentially pull in the middle or defensively one of them, and aggressive the other. The Ottomans have a very strong feudal age, the Spahi. Currently, right now, he is getting a good number of archers out to engage, spearmen to engage the Spahi. Dog will gain some bites here. Blue Scout doing a good job of scouting around. We got now the forest puppers being knocked around, scared. Does have 6 villagers in this region, not enough for all the outposts. Does get a good number of them garrisoned there. And Spahi does get warded away. He probably should keep a couple of spearmen in this region. Scout still there. I think it's just repositioning these units. Still has the meters. The meters are an interesting item at this moment in time. He's not really been using it. Made it a better idea to go for the Anatolian Hills for the mining benefits as well as the actual sheeple. A vizier is now available. And he goes to additional military school. Spahi advancing on forward. We got these good number of longbowmen here. 2 longbowmen. They do have +1 pierce damage. Over here, we do see the +1 pierce armor. So those still take 4 damage per arrow. 22 of them. 22 times 4. That is 88. So it looks like after 2 volleys, the Spahi will go down. So there's probably enough longbowmen here to engage the Spahi. Maybe not. Oh, now we got the rare Istanbul Imperial Palace going on. Interesting. This one I definitely need to cover. Doubles the Imperial Council experience around the landmark and increases the vizier limit, point limit by +2, which I think you can get all the vizier if you go to Istanbul Imperial Palace. It's as far as I can tell, it's a pretty weak landmark. The hidden Imperial Armory just giving you free siege units is very good. But this will allow him to max out his vizier. He's going to really eye for the vizier early. He could be eyeing for the Advanced Academy sooner rather than later to get out the Janissaries and Lancers, among other things. The radius of it is that. I'm not so sure that's great. But the exact parameters for the viziers, run up to 5 vizier points. Okay, so you can get up to 7 rather than 5. There's 9 selectable, so you can pick 2 and not get it. Likely the trade bag, since there's no traders on this entire map. So that also makes it so that the other landmarks actually get more useful. And we'll probably go for siege crews. You know it is quite good. Combined increased attack speed for your siege units along with the increased attack speed from the meter, so you can get plus 40% attack speed for your Mangonels. Or make your counterweight trebuchets fire as quickly as traction trebuchets. But those two are probably the least used too. And as I mentioned before, in the more precise, experience gained by training units and advancing the next age, the higher cost of the action, the more experience is earned. So, you need to make sure to go to production around here. That may be out of range. Deuce, yeah, looks like this military school is out of range. Not the archery range? No. Not the archery range either. Well, either way, that's basically a brief synopsis of the Hero Academy. Do you have the King's Palace going on up? Got Palisade walls trying to be flooded by red behind Blue's Palisade walls. Even though he probably does not know about. We do got an outpost here as well. He does have a handful of man-arms here as well, so got casters for both players. He's going to need to get out the increased man-arms research. Man-arms in this situation would be incredibly good. Extra for the ironclad research as well. That archer will go down shortly. Does cancel those palisade walls there, going for his own set of palisade walls. Very nice. Veteran longbow research. And I do hear relics being picked up by red. Thanks to those early EMs he did get, he can quickly pick up these relics. And he does go ahead and pick them up and drop them off here because of the fact he doesn't have any place to actually drop them off just yet. Imam does spot this relic here. I wonder where he's going. He may not have actually spotted this one earlier. He may be eyeing for the sacred site. Red has a sizable force here. He's going for the man-at-arms research. Go with Siege Workshop as well. He probably has assumed that he's going to be fighting against the hidden Imperial Army, which is simply not the case. So we may see a preemptive Spring Gold, which would be a bad prediction in this case. Armor clad now being researched. People just go down. I'm not sure how on earth they got there. Blue's now picking up this relic. He could have tried to go a conversion on those villagers. Red's not advancing forward. Longbowman gains some good damage there. It's a nice little choke point for Blue. But that can also be inverted on Blue. He will go down. Or maybe not. Took a lot of damage though. Morlock's picked on up. Red is picked up. This relic there needs to get there, so we'll have 3 relics secured. This one can easily be secured up by red as well. We'll likely only get the 1. 2 meter on the field. Actually, it's technically meter 180. Spahi advancing forward. There's good enough spearmen here. Just with a network cast there, turn over on the longbows. Spahi won't be able to last all too long. They do have increased attack speed though. Both Metra have gone down, so there goes attack speed. Man-at-arms currently have 7 pierce armor. These archers do have only 8 damage, so they do 1 damage each versus man-at-arms. There's a possibility to get additional pierce damage at the moment. You can do 2, but of course that can be countered by more pierce armor. Sipahi do get some good damage there on those longbows. They're of course much heavier than horsemen. Now he's going to focus down these crossbows as well as longbows. Now the man-at-arms are making their way forward. They get the combat spirit now to engage. And now eyeing to torch down this spring gold emplacement. A good number of these man-at-arms are quite wounded. He does have a monk on the field. For healing purposes, he could get. Last relic has been picked up by red. No, it's been picked up by blue. So I was mistaken that Garlic would not be captured by red. Fortified outpost will go down. He did get a spring gold here, and his prediction about the mid-hidden Imperial Armory was, of course, I mentioned beforehand, incorrect. It's also a safe guess as well, just not 100% chance guess. So this longbow starting going down. Savali being forced back. That one will stay alive. He does have some imams on the field for healing purposes.
Atım zinledim de hareket eyle. Hareket intikal eyle. İcra et. Kerende hesta.
Let's get it down there. We've got some Janissaries on the field. Janissaries do have good attack speed, very short range, even among hand cannoneers. They may have trouble versus higher pierce armored units. They have high attack speed but lower base damage. They still can do decently well. And there's a lot of force here, including a good number of crossbows as well as 9 of those men at arms. These Sipahi are slowly being picked apart. Longbow is still able to get damage there. He also should focus down the crossbows, not the Janissaries. We have some knights on the field, so mixing some spearmen along with this man at arms wouldn't be half bad. Longbow is still very useful. You should actually eye the crossbows rather than the Janissaries. Janissaries right now do 6 damage, or 16 damage, which will be cut in half by the potential up to 8 pierce armor by the man at arms, so they do 8 damage every 1.5 attack speed, so it's about 6 damage per second versus man at arms, while the crossbows, they do have a base attack of 23. That's fully maxed out. Of course, they have a slow attack speed, so imagine it gets cuts in half. So that will basically do 11 damage per second versus man at arms, and plus they have more range. Crossbows are a bigger threat than Janissaries at this moment of time. Though, with the Janissaries out in the field, he can't deploy any horsemen to overrun that range force. So it looks like just eyeing for just longbows.
Pekala. Ne icra edilmesi lazım?
Do not have a keeping employed on the field. It is in front of the gold deposit there, so it looks like the Ottoman players are trying to secure up the gold. The English does have access to eventually to the enclosure research, getting a good basis of gold income with his farms. Both players are on Castle Age as well.
This shooter will do their work.
Bu sipahi emrin nedir?
Second site has now been decaptured. 3 metros here. We have plenty of replacements.
Good swinker, be mate.
Yep. Nope. Remind me to ban that bot. You got now additional towns that are deployed out, being deployed out by the Ottoman players. English has been maintaining a good 2 town center income, but now the Ottoman players eyeing for additional town centers to get his economy matching up to the English. The English player does have a good number of villager lead. Outposts now being deployed down the field. This will provide a network of castles there. These men-at-arms seem to damage there. Now they're sort of engaged. Focus on the meters is probably good. 2 of the meters appear to have gone down. 3rd one's being focused down as well. Last meter is not being focused down. Now last meter has been focused down there. Villagers are a little bit exposed there. The tower does get some arrows off. Right now the longbow's trying to get overrun by the Sipahi. He's having trouble hitting for the Sipahi. Got a good number of crossbows, as makes some archers. Janissaries still alive as well. Now, maybe it's good. If you focus on the Janissaries, mixing some horsemen now wouldn't be half bad. Those opponents can always pull out some more Janissaries. So he decides to not catch up by the Ottoman player, so to back him off. Scout does go down there. Longbow trying to fall back. You may want to mix in, I suppose mixing some Mangonels won't be great because he's been losing a good number of his longbowmen to the Sepahis. Don't think Mangonel will do much difference either. Mixing a couple of crossbows won't hurt to help deal with lancers, but nothing too significant. Crossbows are going down, longbowmen are now counter-attacking. And thing as well, Ottoman players rely on the military schools quite a bit, so it'll be harder for these forces to get replaced. It's now Bluestein I for 4 to keep now. More man-arms being funneled on in. They could use one more hack armor, and maybe some sort of division that will make it not as important. Let's make sure this keep does go on down. He may have spotted this red keep here. This keep still needs a bit more production. Couple lancers push way forward. Sepahi, this force on engage. These lancers going to push on forward, uncontested, hit these villagers. They will get the keep up, but it's going to lose a number of villagers. It does get inside to build the keep now. Some lancers are starting to go down as well. Now it's going to try to claim up some gold, and it's out of range of these fortifications. So the English player is able to claim this gold. He still has his backline gold, with still a decent amount of gold right there. He's out of dog getting some fights. Blue has captured up this sacred site for his own purposes, which does give him some good extra gold income. Right now, English has a larger force in the field, but the quality is very similar. There's a good amount of lancers on the field, as well as crossbows. Crossbows are, of course, 120, same cost as man-at-arms. Lancer's not trying to push his way forward. I wonder what Vizier he is so far to put on view. He's got all the bottom line there. That's why second line of palisade walls there. Man-at-arms trying to engage these lancers. Spearmen, of course, are better counter against lancers than man-at-arms. At least they can fight them. Some of these villagers may go down. Blue's behind the villagers, and will maintain being behind the villagers since he has just less villager queues there. Man-at-arms now walking their way forward, overrun some of these villagers there. Engagements everywhere. Trebuchet now engaging these fortifications there, trying to go for a fortified outpost now. Lancers try to push on forward. Man-at-arms needs more of these forces here. Picked off by those crossbows. Man-at-arms are pursuing these lancers. They do get some attacks there. Villagers could throw some arrows that aid them as well. And those of these man-at-arms will go ahead and get cleaned up by the crossbows. If one man-at-arms escapes on out, he could get siege engineers and become a bit of infestation, which is very effective when I do it as Mongols, which I'm assuming is good for other civilizations. But I suppose with raid bounties, it can give you quite a bit of returns. Keeps now seeing a bit of fire there. Got an outpost going on up. Trying to torch down some more of these outposts. This one's up there, Spring Gold. Over here, got these crossbows advancing on forward as well. Red's Spring Gold's advancing on forward. There's no Spring Gold emplacement on either of these outposts. There's Berkshire Castle within range of this keep. That's some of these villagers are starting to get hit. There's also another Spring Gold emplacement there. He's got to keep He started doing it. He has to protect these villagers. Some villagers being backed on off. He does have some spearmen advancing in forward. Hit those lancers. Okay, that's fine. Longbones engaging the softer forces there. He's forcing these lancers to stay in and fight. He does not want to have this Berkshire cast here. His spirit influence would be significant. It has a 15 range rather than standard 8 range of the arrows. Spearmen are able to take out almost all those lancers. Now they're starting to hit these various other forces there. More spearmen advancing on forward as well. Longbows still firing away, and there's Berkshire Castle. These villagers let's get inside as well. There's going to be a lot of arrows firing away from it. Each one of those arrows is 14 rather than 16 damage. And now he's even the spring bolts being focused down there. Spring bolt will go down. A lot of the trebuchets engage with impunity. The range won't reach out to these gold mining villagers. The amount of stone on his side of the map on the English side of the map has been stolen. Spear in advance forward. Let's get some good spear braces there on the lancers. Got these partially engaged. Does take out the edge there. Even the trebuchet is starting to get hit there as well from the Berkshire Castle. He does get a deep garrison. Those being brought on out back. Crank up some wood. What's on the map? There's some good wood deposits and some forest puffers. Castle now being repaired on up. Do now have the cavalry trebuchet receiving some damage. Berkshire Castle, being a landmark, takes wood to repair, not stone, so all expensive, also cheap. Market will be going on down. Okay, there's a market there. Right now, the forces are in favor of the Ottoman player in both quality and numbers. Spearmen advancing forward, going to get hits there onto these lancers. The longbow needs to focus on those various archer forces there, so keep the spearmen alive. Trebuchets being do go down there, so the forces do go down. Lancers and man-arms now are engaging. Berkshire Castle not in range. Trebuchet's now trying to engage. I wonder if it has blast damage research. I don't think I've ever seen that being researched. Most people don't even get any of the siege weapon research. Supply do go down. Berkshire Castle's still firing away. The counterweight trebuchet is being repaired up by the villagers. Longbowmen around engaging, got a good number of crossbows and archers here, hitting the longbows. More longbows being brought in, they are elite longbows. More man-arms being put on the field, the elite man-armed research is not coming on out. Berkshire Castle may need to hit these other forces here, that's his big problem. They're still trying to hit the other stuff, so the extra arrows are now hitting the various ground forces there, but hitting this trebuchet is just not making any progress. He needs to hit these other forces there. Just clear this out, then the villagers can continue repairing on their own. Damage there. Now the Berkshire Castle has been de-garrisoned or destroyed. Can still be paired up with only using wood. 3 counterweight trebuchets here. The Ottoman force is actually demolished, and there's not a whole lot here. So the English force can overrun these trebuchets as it gets the Berkshire Castle repaired on up. Remember, the gold has been claimed. This gold is still being claimed by the English. Not a lot of spearmen here, so these lances still get some good damage. Lances are going down. More trebuchet shots in the Berkshire Castle trying to be repaired on up. Longbowmen are getting some great damage, but they have 14 damage. They're able to overcome the Castle Age Lancer's armor quite easily. They're doing 8 damage per arrow, which is significant. Additionally, there's no bloodlines. The man-arms do have decent health for holding the front line as well. Supply, he has even less health. The longbowman blob is just pushing his way forward, getting some great damage. Lancers are just simply not strong enough to overcome all these longbows. Trebuchet's now trying to hit the mining camp, which does deny that golden come for the time being. Mangonel's point of view does have elite man arms. Good damage there on the elite longbowmen. The quality of the English army right now is just very effective. The man arms, if they overrun the trebuchets, his other assets in the region can stay alive. Another mining camp was actually built, or has been built. Of course, these crossbows will still do some good damage there versus the man arms, but of course they will still be very ineffective versus longbows. Looks like the trebuchets have mostly gone down. The mining camp has been saved, so all trebuchets have gone down. And the Berkshire Castle is almost rebuilt. And with that rebuilt, now there's some fire support as well. And it feels like there's a lot of extra arrows coming forward. Am I crazy? Wait a second. That Berkshire Castle is firing much more arrows than it should. Yeah, it's firing. It has 20 extra arrows firing, even though it doesn't actually have a garrison. When it went down with the garrison side, it's keeping its extra arrows. This thing is... He may not be realized if he... How to put it? The English player is in a position where he's technically cheating with that extra effect in place. Because that's a lot of extra damage coming out. That may be not intentional, and they may not realize it just yet, but that's a lot of extra arrows being fired out. He's trying to kill the Seagate, his own Imperial Age keep landmark. He does have 160 villagers in the field, too many. Which will allow him to act as a keep. All keeps get increased area or increase traders and trader movement speed and armor, which is not that important. But he's using it as a special landmark. Provide some influence in the center of the map, which also only takes wood to repair up, which is good. Got a good number of farms over here as well. Plus, the Ottoman player is not really keeping his sprawl all that good because both players are focused on the center of the map playing this gold. He's going to need to get out the Great Bombardment placement sooner rather than later. But yeah, this keep is bugged. It has all the additional arrows from the garrison that he had inside. And I believe there was 10 villagers inside there, so I think he has 10 extra arrows. Which could make a difference. The Great Sea in place. Gate is receiving a bit of fire there. Its extra arrows right now doing 12 damage each. Does have a hot bowling oil research. We have the bombard now pull on the field. It does outrange the Great Sea Gate's arrows. When there's stone there to get the Great Bombard placement, he could get Tide Barn out to get out some additional stone. He also actually has stone back here, an untapped supply. We also have now fortified outposts here for the network of castles. I wonder if he has a network of citadels. He does have a network of citadels. And the Sea Gate is see massive fire from these bombards. We got golden oil here. Got a good number of villagers to repair up the Great Sea Gate. He does have a good number of villagers just having problem with military production. Going for the Great Bombard in placement now. It looks like that will get interrupted. And the Ottoman player doesn't have a whole lot of resources in reserve. The English player has massive reserve of resources thanks to those farms. And that is the end of the replay. This is Anotand saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.